I take it you've never pissed yourself from seeing someone that you really enjoy listening to or watching.
No,
Yeah.
I can't say. Have you?
No, I can't say that I have. I maybe a little bit inside when I saw Fozzy perform, and being a big Chris Jericho fan, just a little bit inside, maybe like a little bit of wee. I don't know. Nah, I'm joking.
Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with
KD and Kersey.
Now hold on to your butts. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. Prepare to have an autographical orgasm in 3, 2, 1.
And I come back and thought I'd come and sit and chat with you about stuff. Maybe.
Try and tell some stories. How well they're told, I don't know, but we'll tell some stories.
Yeah, mine's more of it's not non-fiction stuff, and it's it's not story time with Aaron and Carl. It's serious stuff, man. It's serious stuff.
True stories, true crime stories, or true stories, any kind of things.
Yeah.
But you know what? Before that, actually, did you see the thing over the week? Wait, what? Over the week, sorry. That fucking explosion in Beirut.
Yeah, man. Not good.
What the fuck was that, man?
Not good at all.
Like, did you see the video? The
video is shocking. I mean, there's going to be someone on there. Oh, conspiracy. You know.
That's exactly where I was going with that. Like, well, not conspiracy. Like, it's just I've never seen an explosion like that from chemicals. Like over 5 miles. That's crazy.
It's something to do with like chemicals in the port that have been sitting there for years, and like they told them about it.
Fertilizer stuff.
Yeah, like they need to move it, and then never listened, and then
thing.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
Horrible, man.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what comes out about it. But it was just crazy, the sight of that explosion. Like,
I know.
It looked like an A bomb. I know I wasn't, but it looked like an A bomb.
Yeah, it was like almost like a mushroom cloud in places as well, wasn't it?
It was just the shockwave, mate. It was just crazy to see.
Horrible.
I've never seen an explosion like that. Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine. You can't hear me, can you?
No.
You can hear me.
I can't hear you now.
Oh, okay.
You just went. I'm just bam, bam, bam. That's cool, man. That's cool. What have you got for me this week?
Yeah, it's me first. I need to let me find my shit. Okay, here we are. Because this is a story, man, I've wanted to do for so long. And I say so long. I think I only heard about it like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
I've talked about it in little podcasts before and that. But,
okay.
Not gone into it at all. Just me rambling about it for a minute or two,
As you do.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if you've heard about it at all. Have you? First of all, actually, there's a Netflix documentary all about it. Have you seen Wild Wild Country? Have you heard of that at all?
Wild Wild Country. Don't think so. And it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, yeah. So afterwards, if you want to watch it, it's such a good story, man. I highly recommend it because there's so much in it that I know the stuff that I haven't included because it's just impossible. We'd have to do like a whole deep dive on it together. Do everything, honestly.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the story of Rajneeshpuram, and more so than anyone, Rajneesh, or as he was otherwise later known, Bhagwan, and then Osho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this about the Indian guru?
It is about an Indian guru.
I think I remember hearing about this, but I don't think I've watched this documentary. So it's one I've been meaning to check out.
Yeah,
I may have seen a short documentary, but not Wild Wild Country about him. So I know a little bit. It was years ago that I watched something on YouTube about him.
There's so many little niggly bits that as you go through, you find different things that are on things that were never mentioned in the documentary that are just like, why would you not mention that? It's amazing. Fuck it. So it over, like, just while I'm getting this, it entails everything from like the biggest USA wiretapping case, the biggest immigration case, the biggest poisoning case. There's attempted murder in it. There's murder in it.
Okay.
Not a lot of murder though. It's specific stuff.
Fair.
And people get it. Yeah. He was in India originally. Let's give you a bit of history about the dude first. Say in like 1979, 1980,
Yeah.
And in the 70s especially. He started off as he was like a guru doing stuff in random things, but then he went off on his own basically, and he got a flat, and people would come to it, and he would talk to them, give them wisdom, predictions, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he was just very popular with it. He went to loads of different things, and it just built and built. And his name at this point was still Rajneesh. And just as it went, he became known as the Bhagwan. So built and built and built on a flat, and then suddenly he took over. He bought a big kind of compound in India, just a big place, and they went there and they started building this community of people. That they actually, let me get the proper name of them. That's one bit I haven't got up because there's a few conflicting things of what their name was. But
oh really? Okay.
Yeah. It's everything's conflicting in this, man. That's the thing. I've had to double check everything. But from what I remember, it's neo-sannyasins they're called.
Neo what? Sorry.
Neo-sannyasins.
Sannyasins.
Yeah, and in the documentary on Netflix, they just refer to him as sannyasins, but apparently that's a monk. Yeah. Some monk order, but it's just like that, but it's like a new wave kind of version of it. So the Bhagwan is very much into materialistic stuff, like he loves his Rolls Royces. He's got like, by the end of this, he's got like a fleet of it said it somewhere, where is it? It's ridiculous, like 51 Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's only somewhere like 51 Rolls Royces, and he especially loves diamond encrusted watches as well.
He loved a lot of things that were expensive, didn't he?
He was a weird guru. He loved materialistic stuff. So because of this, he got a lot of followers over from America,
right?
California especially. They would go over to India and go to this compound, and they would start, it would just grow and grow the community until they eventually realised we need a different place. And all the money that went into it from the people coming over from America especially were the wealthy side apparently, and they started. I forgot another part of it. There's the Osho, Bhagwan. I was calling him Bhagwan because that's what I knew him as. There's Bhagwan, and then there's Mahaman Sheila, who's kind of his right hand personal secretary person. She's she's brutal.
Yeah, Sheila.
Oh man, like there's videos all over YouTube of her. She's just like she just doesn't give a shit. Yeah, so they would go over and then. Basically, she told all them, Sheila, that they would need to liquidate all their assets and put it into the Rajneesh community and make it grow and grow and grow. I can't remember where they were. I've got it written down. I'm not getting the stuff up. I'm very organised.
You can edit that bit.
I can edit all this. This is the great part.
Just cut into it.
Yeah, because there's not as much information, basically, as... when they eventually went to America. That's why it's a bit tricky to find this part, but forget it. So I can't remember exactly where they were, but basically they decided eventually that they couldn't be treated as a religion, which meant they didn't have to pay taxes like Scientology.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, which is the same in India. So then they had to pay taxes. And they were being sued for like £3.5 million, equivalent to $3.5 million of back taxes.
Would it be rupees or something in India?
Something like that, yeah. But they just gave the equivalent.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So they decided, and anyway, they were going to go to America. Okay, so they decided to go to America. They eventually found a place they were going to go to in Oregon called the Big Muddy Ranch.
That's a brilliant name. Big Muddy Ranch.
The big old muddy ranch.
Love it.
$5.75 million they bought the ranch for.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a lot. Just for a bit of mud.
Big old bit of mud. 64,000 acres. Bit of mud. Plenty big enough to build a city, basically.
Yeah.
A little city. So by August 29th, Bhagwan Rajneesh, who's 49 at the time, arrives on the ranch. Okay. Where you jump? Jesus, that's a bit quick to jump to there. Okay. Bear with me. I know what I'm doing, Aaron. I know what I'm doing now.
I don't know now. If
I'm getting there.
I'm not so sure now.
I'm getting there, my man. Don't you worry. trying to get the right names, the right order of everything, because I know the story anyway. The lists that I've got like include loads of stuff that's happened, but then they're missing huge chunks, like ridiculous chunks. Like that just jumped forward a year, and there's so much that happens in that year. Okay, fuck it. Yeah, so I'm not going to know the order exactly when things happened anyway. Well, I know the order, but not exactly when they happened.
As it happened.
Timelines on here. So there was the ranch, and they were building it up. There was a lot of different buildings on the ranch as they were going. They were building things up. They got planning permission from the Wasco County thing.
Yep.
To build a lot of things. They were planning loads of stuff, man. At this point, as they went, they were building a cinema on there. Everything you'd imagine, like a proper city. It wasn't just
a complex as well, like a big shopping mall.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Fair.
That was one of the other things listed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
I didn't even know.
They got everything on there. Like they had like a proper city, everything you would imagine.
That's weird.
Part of the thing as well was you had to wear red and orange coloured robes or anything. You could wear anything you want, but you had to be red, orange coloured. So kept with the cult style.
Yeah.
This is a cult, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah, from what I remember seeing about it, it became much more than just a place for body healing and yoga and stuff. If I remember rightly, it became much deeper than that, shall we say?
Yeah, there was a lot of the particular kind of stuff as well that like they had this new style of it that the Bhagwan wanted, where basically it wasn't just like calm meditation and stuff. It was like you start it off calm, and then you go absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like, any way possible. Why we were naked at the time, like a load of people in the room.
Okay.
The point I know this is because a German director that was something to do with them, but not actually one of them. She was just there, sympathizer. That was it.
Yeah.
She was there, and she snuck a camera into one of the bits and got a recording of it, and then they released it in the neighbouring cities. To show them what was going on in this evil cult, up the road. Even though a lot of it, at this point especially, they just seem pretty like they just want to make a place to chill. Yeah. And do their own thing. At this point, it still feels like that. And it feels like from everything, possibly from the Bhagwan guy, that's what he was always trying to do.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of this story, he goes silent in it.
Okay.
Takes like a vows of silence, and then Sheila is the one that's running it basically.
She sounds like a dodgy one, doesn't she?
It's a shame you can't see a picture of her. Like you probably could. Like if you go on YouTube, man, she's all over YouTube. Like she did so many.
What's her name again? Sheila.
Just type in Sheila Rajneesh, and it will come up. Like Rajneesh.
Oh yeah, I can see her. Oh yeah.
She's in the Netflix documentary the whole time as an older woman, talking through it all as well.
Okay,
and she's still the same. Like she is a very angry woman. Not angry actually. Do you remember Miss Nichols? This ain't gonna make sense to anyone else, and I'll blow it out. But do you remember Miss Nichols?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, just a very forefront, like says it how it is kind of thing.
Just scare you away when you try to come to class, sort of thing. Before it's like, why am I even here? She doesn't like me.
So imagine her trying to make a point to someone while being a bit drunk. I imagine it's that.
Okay, I've got that picture in my head now. Thank you.
I think we might have completely different memories of her. I don't
No,
know.
definitely not.
I used to love her and hate her and fear her all at the same time.
Yeah, same.
So Sheila was just running about, controlling a lot of it. So so the question comes a lot of the time. It comes into more, and especially how they kind of portray the end of the documentary, I suppose, more than anything. It's pretty much you're unsure whether Sheila was the dick or whether Bhagwan was a dick. Who was trying to do this stuff that I'll mention in a bit. Eventually, like the county decide, that some of the stuff they're doing, they shouldn't be doing. Some of the building stuff is in violation because they originally made out they were going there for agricultural purposes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I forgot that bit. Yeah, so that's how they got over there. They admit to it in the documentary. They were completely fluffing it to get there. You know, they were just taking advantage of things. What I just learned while watching the documentary is a tiny little snippet that they didn't mention until just a tiny thing. No one mentions it anywhere again.
Yeah.
During this time, one of the people, one of the zoning law people that went down to check things out, he went to this building as well. Oh, what's this? This doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Couldn't get into it. And they were like, oh, it's just because they were walking him around. They were like, oh, it's just like janitorial stuff. There's nothing in there. I haven't got the key. And they were like, the people walking around were like, okay, it's getting dark and I don't trust these people anyway. So let's just go. But behind that door was actually a lab.
Yeah.
That was creating something.
Okay. Something.
Yeah, so it was creating something, but that didn't go anywhere, obviously, so that just carried on. And then eventually, because of all the issues they had with zoning laws and that, they eventually decided there was a town on the outskirts, just a bit further away, called the City of Antelope.
Okay.
And they decided the easier thing to do then, in that case, since they're stopping us from building our city here, we're just going to go and take over this city.
Oh, okay.
It was a city of it was a very small city, don't get me wrong. I can't get the number on here. I swear it was something like 75 people were there at the time, 75 properties. It was a very small, random town in some part of Oregon.
Yeah.
So they went in, apparently it was like a ghost town when they started doing it, and they started buying out all the different things. All these people will get, it's very much portrayed at this point in the documentary, it really makes the point of how much these little townsfolk and maker people hated these people. These red people coming into our country, trying to do different things. There's excerpts of them talking they're trying to spread their evil with inhumane sex.
Oh dear.
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh, those evil people. Absolutely evil.
Stereotypical stuff you can imagine at this point was exactly what was going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. A lot of anger and stuff, which comes into it later.
Yeah.
So they started just buying everything up. A lot of people were unhappy, making a big fuss about it, and 2 weeks later sold their whatever. At this point, they take over. They buy all these different things. They do something where certain people that may questionably not be American start taking American names and addresses and start marrying American followers of the Rajneesh to build up the numbers.
Okay.
So that then they can take something to whatever the Wasco County is and basically legally, completely take over the city in regards to the government of the city, the council, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
Fully take over the city, but in a fair way. To be at this point, it still seems pretty fair. Well, I say that I don't know what they were doing in that lab at the time, but that's the question of whether that was just Sheila and a few of her things. So we don't know that, and that might be later on.
Maybe they were making mega Sheilas,
maybe
just robot Sheilas to come and control the town or whatever. You never know.
I could imagine it like that episode, South Park Mecha.
Yeah, Mecha Sheilas.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is in the episode of South Park. What is it? It's Mecha something.
Yeah, it's been so long.
I feel like it's Mecha Streisand, but I feel it's not.
It's a celebrity of some sort. I can't remember.
Is it Mecha Barbara Streisand? Is that what it is?
I'm gonna have a look.
Please have a look. I swear that is. Well, I don't swear it is. Not at all. I might just completely imagine it now.
You're 100%. Yeah, man. It's Mecha Streisand. Barbara Streisand.
Cool.
It's in the first season.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. Oh, that takes me back.
Oh, we're old, dude.
Mecha Streisand. That came out. Whoa.
You don't want to look, do you?
No. I think I was about 6 years old, and that show is still going on. Anyway,
97 then.
Yeah,
I can do the math.
Yeah,
we're in school together. I can do the math.
Somewhere around then, I think, man. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, fucking hell! So that's 23. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, moving on. So they take over the council and stuff, but they do the fair as well. at the same time, the mayor that was there at the time, because this went on for a bit of time before they took over properly, you know, they had to build it up and stuff. And the mayor at the time, that apparently it was one of those cities or towns, because they were talking to the townsfolk at the time in the documentary.
Right. Yep.
They were just making a point that they were the kind of people that, that it was the kind of town. That's problematic nowadays. It's the kind of town where like they bring just a different person takes turns, you know, like basically being the mayor, because there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Different people take turn being the mayor. The one that was in at the time was kind of like, oh shit. Eventually she left, and then the person that would have had to run against the Rajneesh people that they were putting in or something. Basically, they wanted one person to run for mayor against them, and the guy was like, "Okay, I'll do it. I don't mind. I'm going to lose." They were interviewing him during the documentary, like he does a lot later on. He like goes like, "Yeah." Basically, he fails completely, obviously, but they decide, "Okay, so we won. We're going to make this council, but we're going to have it's of 5 people. We're going to have 3 Rajneeshis and 2 Antelope people, so they don't feel like they're being taken over."
Yeah,
and that's really fair.
Yeah.
But the one guy, not the one I was talking about before, was oh, fuck that, and left straight away. Literally, apparently, the next morning, just left the town.
Okay, fair. See you, man. Take care.
He was like, no, fuck that. But the other guy was like, yeah, cool, I'm in for that. And there was like a lot of videotape of him being there and stuff. And later on, like, he finds some stuff that doesn't really go anywhere, hence why I'm just saying it now. They just find some evidence and some paperwork, and he tries to make it a thing. But it doesn't go anywhere. So I don't know why I mentioned it, but I don't know why I'm mentioning it, but
thanks.
You're welcome, Aaron. And then we are up to, as I said before, so that was 1982. And then it just built for a bit. It just carried on. What they eventually did then as well, they decided to help the numbers grow more. They were going to do this thing where they brought in a lot of... they opened the doors to homeless people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good of them.
Yeah, so they shipped a lot of homeless people. But it's very questionable by how they were doing it and what they were doing. They weren't taking... They were just fluffing the numbers by this point. They really were.
Yep. Gotcha.
By this point, Sheila was fluffing the numbers. I don't think anyone had any issue with it because she was doing a lot of questionable stuff on the side, it seems, but at the same time, she was very smart politically, and she was like, these people are attacking us and what we're trying to do, so fuck them, they're dickheads. I'm going to attack back. Which I can't argue with.
No, I suppose.
Depending on what attack means.
Smart woman, but, you know, I can imagine she doesn't turn out to...
Yeah, with the loopholes and stuff, I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Get that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it's still pretty questionable what happened. That's the thing, though. There's a lot of questions with it all. It's a very weird thing.
And I take it they don't really know much at that point, or even now.
We know stuff, and people got arrested for stuff, and they've been to jail and paid fines. But what do you really know from that? You know.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
There's more to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really know exactly who did what in regards to a lot of the stuff with the Rajneesh movement, like in particular these things now that I'll just get into.
Yeah.
So there was different things all around that was going on. So it wasn't just they had this city of Rajneesh that incorporated Antelope into it as well. So now Rajneesh in that big muddy ranch and Antelope were one. Mm-hmm. So they're one big thing now. But there was a lot of communes all over the world. Like, it's crazy. They went through them all on the documentary. There was like everywhere. There was quite a few in Britain, loads all across America. There was ones. There was like 2 in Italy. There was ones all over. There was a load in Switzerland, a load in Japan, a load in China. Literally all over the world. And what they would do is every year. Well, I think it must have been more than annually, because looking at the timeline, it must have been more than annually.
Okay.
Because I know they did it quite a few times. Here we go. That's the bit I wrote down for it. So they held annual festivals, basically, where they would have bands on. They would everything you'd imagine from a festival,
That's
you
fun.
know, in the middle of like essentially a desert, you know.
Yeah.
It looked very fun, the stuff they were showing, don't get me wrong. Because it was like filled with 500,000. Oh, no, sorry. 1,500,000 sannyasins from all over the world, and that would be people at different levels, you know.
Whoa.
Yeah,
so they've just come from like a different place in the world to this festival.
Yeah, so they were interviewing him in the documentary.
Yeah.
They were talking to some, like, there was like a little group particular that were from Japan, and they were talking about all the stuff going on in Japan. They'd cut to that, you know, and share some of it. Same for a few different countries like that. But in general, at this point, apparently, there was over, not sannyasins, but over 500,000 just general followers of Rajneesh, the guy himself.
I mean, popular guy, but
very much. He was like a rock star, man.
Yeah, really big following. But I know a little bit, and I know what you're going to tell me soon. I take it doesn't end well for him.
Oh, you might not be picking the right person, to be honest.
Okay.
No, so these festivals are going on and shit.
Yeah.
And the reason I say he was like a rock star is because there would be like proper bands you'd see. It'd be like a full-on festival like you'd see anywhere, like Download or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
He would go onto the stage at random times in his big stage, and like they had like a walkway and stuff, and he'd just be walking through like a fucking rock star. Imagine like the Beatles back in the day in Hayfield falling at them, doing crazy, and he's like walking through like he's I don't know, like the fucking Hulk Hogan or something, just walking through, going like, come on, you know. Fucking crazy, loving it, man.
Were they crying at his feet and stuff like that?
Everything, really? Everything you can imagine, all of it, all of the above, man.
Yeah. Oh man.
Fucking mental. Like, I genuinely love this guy.
When you said Beatles, then all I could like think about was just like women screaming for this guy and like telling him how much they adore him. Yeah. So fair play.
You ever hear the stories like that the Beatles used to talk a lot about? Well, about like one thing that people never realised about those gigs when they were there at the front, and just how strong it would smell of piss. Because the women would not, they would be pissing themselves constantly, and he said it literally sunk a piss the whole time.
I don't think I've ever heard that. I take it it's because they got so excited, or were they standing there for too long, like they just didn't want to move.
Imagine that, man.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go for those.
I know I've almost pissed myself a few times. I'd be right at the front to mention it again. Download. I stood there for like 4 hours getting drunk at the same time. I mean, pissing it down too.
That's different. That's different. I take it you've never pissed yourself from seeing someone that you really enjoy listening to or watching.
No.
Yeah.
I can't say. Have you?
No.
Oh.
No. I can't say I have.
The way you said that, I thought there was going to be a.
Oh no, little cracks there. No, I can't say that I have. I maybe a little bit inside when I saw Fozzy perform, and being a big Chris Jericho fan, just a little bit inside, maybe like a little bit of wee. I don't know. Nah, I'm joking.
You built me up, man. You built me up. Threw me down.
Sorry. But yeah,
I can't believe out of all the bands you could have mentioned, though, you picked Fozzy.
I'm just a massive Chris Jericho fan, man. You know this. Like, so.
Yeah. So we should go back to the story, shouldn't we? Yeah. Where was I?
So he was like, having that those festivals, and he'd come out like a rock star.
Yeah. So he would come out and he would do that, and they would get fucking loads of money though from the from those festivals when they come in, as you would expect, and people would donate loads, and he would just keep going on. They were fucking rich by this point. They had like a proper good medical lab set up because they had like this thing called it was something like the Rajneesh Medical Corporation. They had a whole separate thing for that as well, and that was like worth some kind of millions. I can't remember. From all this stuff, as you can imagine, there was a lot of anger from the local people, not just the people in Antelope, but the people in Oregon in general. A few different things had happened, like, you know, people had been menaced. There's like bits on here of some of these timelines are sort of like that. I'm like, why are you including that? There was one, I'm like, I can't find it now, but like Rajneesh woman reported she was menaced by rancher. Like, okay.
What? Okay.
Yeah. But loads of stuff like that. There was a lot of things. There was little petty crimes and little incidents, and apparently that was it. They were saying the townsfolk were saying that the Rajneesh would go around with lights and shine it into their windows at night to keep them awake. And now, like, would they really?
Yeah.
It got to the point where there was a hotel, a Rajneesh hotel, that wasn't in this main Rajneeshpuram. It wasn't in the city of Rajneeshpuram, but it was in Oregon still. So it wasn't that far away. But basically, that got bombed in June 1983.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. Hotel Rajneesh, a Rajneesh-owned hotel in Portland. It says here by the Islamist militant group Jamaat ul-Fuqara, wherever they are. But I also saw a lot of things that said it was actually by this, like, essentially an Rajneesh organization. So probably whatever.
Yeah.
You know. There was no fatalities though.
Oh, okay, that's good.
It was just more, especially in the documentary as well. It was just portrayed as them. They were all outside, just having to watch their hotel burn. One of the things they built and stuff. And then this was really the moment when everything changed. Bhagwan was already on a vow of silence by this point. He was just letting Sheila do her thing. He said this before. He looked at it all apparently as more of an experiment. So he was trying to see if you give someone this, like the Rajneesh people, this thing, this beautiful, as he put it, like, you know, this beautiful thing, what would people do with it?
Yeah.
And that's where this vow of silence came in, apparently.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that went on then anyway. So it was the bombing of that, and at this point, Sheila was going crazy. Obviously, she was on talk shows talking about it proper, like fuck you. Literally, you know, like. People be like, we don't want your people here. Like, interviewer look like, oh, well, I think they're tough titties. Yeah, and then she like there was a cut doing the woman just swearing the people from the stage and that. Fucking great, man. Yeah, but at this point though, they also then created the police. What was it? The Peace Force is what they called it, which is essentially a police force for Rajneeshpuram, one controlled by them, but also because they were a city, a proper city, you know, by govern. They were also had then access to databases, to criminal databases, to all that stuff. They had all that sensitive data.
Wow, fair.
Yeah, because they were in an established city at this point, you know. So a lot of people weren't happy about that. They also then at this point started bringing in guns, loads and loads of guns, to have their police and security walking around with full-on rifles, you know. Because they were police, so they had more rights to do that.
Yeah.
By law, anyway. You know.
It's getting crazy, man.
There's a whole separate thing about Sheila finding out that she thinks the doctor's trying to do something to Rajneesh.
Oh, okay.
Or no, that was it, because she wiretapped everywhere. This is the thing, yeah. She wiretapped everywhere at the time when they were building it, including Bhagwan's place, and she heard like him asking the doctor to kill himself, how he could do it.
Whoa. Okay.
Things like that, because he was old by this point and he had medical issues apparently.
Okay.
And she took that as this doctor was trying to murder him. So then they figured out how can we murder the doctor before he murders the Bhagwan, and then they tried to murder him and it fails. It's a whole separate thing, man. Yeah,
that's not good, man. That's not good.
Story for another time, I think that is, because it's good. Yeah, so that's the whole thing, but that's just in-house. Doesn't really make a difference to this. So by 1984, there was some Wasco County elections, which essentially, with the elections and some of the stuff that was going on, it essentially was this point it came to a decision between whether Rajneeshpuram could carry on or if it couldn't, if it was going to be, you know, like basically taken apart and they'd have to take everything down. Because a lot of the argument at this point, it was more of a case of church and state, you know, had the constitution, you kind of church and state together, there's got to be separation between that. So that was what they were going for.
Yeah. So
they decided, okay, rather than, you know, do something about that and figure out a way around it, what could we do instead to possibly make it so that a lot of the people that would have the power to vote for this wouldn't be able to vote. So in 1984, what they did, it had an outbreak of salmonella, pretty strong salmonella.
Okay.
It infected 751 people.
Oh my God.
45 were hospitalized. but no fatalities again.
Whew, that's good.
Very close there, apparently,
Lucky.
because it was a strong strain of salmonella. So that's what happened.
Too many bad egg sandwiches and stuff like that.
Basically, it came out, very much so, that they had actually gone to at least 10 bars and infected the salad bars, particularly with salmonella, sprayed it on, did all this stuff.
No.
Which was what was being created in a lab that I mentioned earlier.
Oh, man.
So he was that close. He was on the other side of the door. It was just a little hut and some stilts, you know.
Yeah. Oh, man. Why?
That close, man.
Why would they do this?
But it when like they were showing it all at the time, and for quite a while, it was believed to be just a genuine outbreak of salmonella that only affected this one town, and that was regarded as a single largest biological warfare attack in United States history.
Wow. Okay. That makes sense, I suppose. You know.
Local residents suspecting Rajneeshpuram to be involved in the poisoning turned in to prevent from winning any county positions. The Rajneeshis eventually withdrew their candidate from the November 1984 ballot, rendering their plot in general unsuccessful.
Man.
So they fucked themselves over.
They really did themselves in there, didn't they?
They really
not good.
Themselves over there. Apparently, there was also a 1985 Rajneeshi assassination plot to assassinate followers of Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, Bhagwan, to assassinate Charles Turner, the then United States Attorney for the District of Oregon. Sheila. Sheila again. Okay.
Good old Sheila.
Fucking Sheila. I can't wait for you to go back and listen to, like, anyone listen to it as well. Go on YouTube and just have a look what Sheila was like on any of the talk shows and that. It's gold.
She looks moody.
You need to have a look though. So it's just entertaining. Let's see. Sheila resigns as personal secretary. Okay, so she resigned. Okay, September 13th, 1985. She resigns as personal secretary to Rajneesh, and as president of the church and of several Rajneesh. She just leaves in general because she Germany and is eventually extradited from Germany for some of this stuff because it all comes out basically. They get all the information they need, and Bhagwan eventually speaks out. Tells her to fuck off basically. As everything that he suspected her of doing, everything that she'd done, and then said, I'm inviting the police to come in, go through everything and investigate into what she's done basically.
Oh man, okay.
But at the same time, if it was really him as well, which some people say it was, that would be a smart thing to say. Try and get yourself out of it.
Definitely.
I mean, it didn't work though, because they secretly were looking into him as well.
Yeah.
But it's still a question of who did what. You know, you're never going to know. They make this point of documentary.
We won't.
You know.
I don't think we ever will.
Because he died as well. In the end, because he was an old dude.
Yeah. How old was he when he died?
Yeah, because from what you said before, it sounded like you thought that he might have been assassinated or something.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, someone turned against him, and because he got so popular, they didn't like it. And you hear about it all the time, don't you? When people,
of course, yeah.
Oh, they got bumped off, and you're like, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Always the way. So yeah.
Okay, just says here about it was actually 84 Rolls Royces he had.
That's a lot of cars, man. He must have had a big car.
So 84 he had at this one point, and then he buys another one on November 30th, 1985. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty much disbanded at this point at the end of 1985. 5 Rajneeshis plead guilty in Portland, U.S. District to immigration charges. One also pleads guilty to conspiracy to commit electronic eavesdropping, like I said, was built into the place, but still goes against the Constitution. Non-Rajneeshis are sworn in as mayor and council members in Antelope, replacing the last vestige, so they go back to being Antelope at this point. He fled the United States, went back to India. but then was eventually extradited back and had to face some things, and he went to prison in I think it was Portland.
Oh, okay.
Is that the state for Oregon? Is that why that keeps popping up?
Well, in Oregon, yeah. If I remember rightly.
Yeah. Yeah, but then he eventually gets bailed out as well. He pays like $500,000 bail, and then eventually goes back to India again. Back to India? I don't feel like you'd be able to do that if you're on bail.
Yeah.
You know.
It's right. It would probably be done a naughty boy if you did that. Catch up with him.
I just found it now. November 8th, that was 1985. So just before what I was saying before. 500 bail after being returned to Portland. And then November 14th, so 6 days later, he's guilty to 2 federal felonies. Pays $400,000 in fines and prosecution costs, and promptly leaves Oregon for his native India. So apparently he made a deal, I guess.
Okay. A plea deal, maybe. You know.
Yeah, apparently. Doesn't say anything about when he died, you know, so it must have been after that. But I know I've read it somewhere that he died.
It's a shame that he built all that up and then, like, nothing carried on after he'd gone. You know, like.
Oh no, that's not. Sorry. It's still going strong today.
Is it?
Yeah, the Rajneeshpuram movement is still going strong today.
Oh.
There's something on here about it, but I just found when he died for. Yeah, it was 1990. He was 58.
Oh, okay. He wasn't that old.
The official cause of death was heart failure, but a statement released by his commune said that he had died because living in the body had become a hell after alleged poisoning in US jails. His ashes were placed in his newly built bedroom in Lake Toy House in the ashram in Pune. The epitaph reads, "Never born, never died, only visited this planet Earth between December 11th, 1931 and January 19th, 1990.
Okay. So basically, he died of heart failure.
He died of heart failure, long story short.
Interesting.
But the documentary, man, it talks to all of the people involved. So it talks to the mayors there from the city, a right-hand person, the one that tried to kill the doctor, who's talking us through trying to kill the doctor.
Fair.
But she is just like a genuine. She just looks like any normal, just older woman at this point. Just be sat there just talking to you, middle-aged, I guess, near the older.
Yeah.
Just talking you through, like, I tried to jab him in the butt and poison him, but it didn't work. I missed.
I love it. No, I did remember seeing it on Netflix, and it was something I always wanted to check out, but never got around to it. So
I'm not doing it justice at all, but I feel like I should stop there because I've already been doing it for a while. I've just looked, man.
You're wasting my time, Carl. No, that's fine. It's interesting though that you brought that up because it was something, as I say, it was something that I wanted to watch. So it's piqued my interest again. So
I highly recommend it, man.
No, it does look really good. So, and what you told me there, it just intrigued me more. Like I want to know more about like this movement and stuff and how it's affected people to like this day. So that'll be interesting to see.
That's what I found really surprising about it when I first watched it. Like, I was like, how have I ever heard of this thing? It seems
exactly.
Yeah, and then I thought,
well, this is the thing, right? Like the amount of stuff you don't get taught in school, and you're going to be finding stuff out like when you're in adulthood, and like researching or talking to friends and family about it. I mean, the amount of stuff I learned about world wars from my dad that I did in school is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Because they only teach you in school, I suppose, the definite facts. The definite facts of how they're portrayed in history.
We need more gritty stuff, though, Carl. We need everything that we can get our hands on, not just like the small facts. We need everything. More information, please, in schools. That's great. But what were you plugging again?
Yeah. So we got new sponsors that I haven't got the discount code for them yet. So it's I've forgotten again. Nobody's Priority Clothing is what it is. Nobody's Priority Clothing. And so eventually what will happen too, as it builds up a little bit more with Nobody's Priority Clothing, we will also be bringing out like some form of in your house themed, KD and Kersey in your house themed merch, some t-shirts, or we should do masks. That would be a better thing to do right now.
Masks would be good right now, definitely.
Yeah. It is available via teespring.com at the moment. I quite like a lot of the stuff on here as well, to be honest, because I really hate fucking branded clothing, like, you know, clothes that's got brands all over them.
Yeah, I like small things, to be fair.
Yeah, like a fucking. You look like a fucking billboard when you're walking around with like a Nike top on or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, just randomly before I forget, completely forgot this whole part again. During my story with Rajneesh, one of the there was a couple of ranchers nearby the Big Muddy Ranch.
Yeah.
They were unhappy about it, and they went into the cause and gave money towards, you know, like doing the court cases against them. And one of them was Bill Bowman, who is the co-founder of Nike.
Oh, what? What are you telling me this now for?
I know, I completely forgot that part. Cool. Have you had a look at some of the clothes on here though? It's just a lot of stuff that isn't fucking got brands all over, which I like. It's just got cool little pictures on it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I like that one of the t-shirts is £22 and 1 pence.
Yeah, 1 pence.
Very good. £13 and 1 pence for one of the t-shirts.
I hope that's something to do with the VAT change or something.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. Yeah, I like stuff like that.
I'm going to try and buy one with just £13 rather than £13 and 1 pence. That's what I mean.
Go for it.
But yeah, so we'll have the discount code for you soon. And guys, that's some new people coming in and helping us build it a little bit more then.
Indeed.
And also, as I do think I should plug, I haven't got the pictures with me, but it won't matter. There'll be an overlay on your screen if you're watching this on YouTube currently right now. For the In Your Pub comedy night that I'll be doing on the 31st of August, it will be it's 1312 Coventry Road, but it's the old Bill and Bull. We've got a big space outside to do it. It's going to be all open air, spaced out properly. Going to get hopefully some gazebos just in case it rains. It's $2.50 a ticket. If you want to buy it here rather than getting it in the pub or something, because they are available in the pub, but that's obviously more the people that are in the area. If you do want to come, my Facebook name will be popping up down there right now. Just click on it, speak to me. You can do it by PayPal or bank transfer. We'll sort it out. There's limited tickets, obviously, so if you do want to come, speak to me, because there's obviously limited space. We've got to do safety and shit. And if you do come, great, enjoy live comedy, have fun there. Just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. I'll be in charge. I'll be on the phone, and I'll see someone like breathing and licking each other's eyeballs or something. I'm going to make you leave in the nicest way. This is your warning.
Please do that.
I will be doing that. Take it away then, Aaron, please.
Well, mine this week isn't about anything to do with crime or anything like that at all. It's just more like experiences of I don't know if you've experienced this, Carl, but about sleep paralysis. Ever had any experiences of it?
I don't think I have myself, but I'm a super deep sleeper, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Fair.
But I've seen it a lot. I've heard about it. Yeah.
Fair. No, that makes it. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I've personally had it, and this is why I thought I'd bring it to you to discuss. But mainly, it's something I've looked into over the years, and something that's really interested me, and to find more about it, because I actually remember it, like experiencing it from a young age, maybe like 5 or 6, and being really scared about it. And the image that I had was a witch, a kind of witch or a lady demon, but maybe a succubus even, sitting on my chest, and the pressure was really hurting my chest. And I spoke to my mum about it, and she always just said it was, you know, a dream, it was a nightmare. But looking into it as I got older, I realized it was sleep paralysis. I've always struggled with sleep, and this is one of the reasons why you get sleep paralysis with people who have, you know, a lot of people like who do struggle to get to sleep, or have, you know, a few mental health issues have it. So
was it that you saw a succubus, or you just had this image? You were saying about this or something?
Yeah, just the image of it, really. So that was my first experience. But so it basically what it is, it's I don't know if you know too much about it. It's essentially waking up in a state or trying to fall to sleep, where you're aware of like your surroundings, so your brain's awake, but your body isn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and like many people, what I've explained there, tend to hallucinate or feel things on their chest, or just it results in a lot of fear.
Yeah.
And some people's episodes
that makes sense as well if you don't understand what's happening too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm bloody scared of that thing in the corner of my room.
Just waking up and not being able to move is enough.
100%, like scary anyway.
Totally, yeah.
Hence the paralysis.
Yeah, before your mind starts to wonder or whatever it is, even before any of that, like
Exactly. But the a lot of people who have people may even be healthy and suffer from it. It says like people with like narcolepsy, or sometimes it runs in the family, but I've never spoke to any family members that have it. But normally it's triggered by bad sleep cycles, people who struggle sleeping. A tip is, they say not to sleep on your back, but the thing is, how can you not sleep on your back sometimes, because you're in a state of unconsciousness and you're turning over through the night, and you might end up on your back. So
okay, do you move around in your sleep then?
Yeah, quite a lot. So
I'm a log apparently.
You're just stiff.
Apparently, I just don't move. I'm done. Fair. I don't wake up. I don't hear shit.
See, I wish I could be like that. I do struggle finding this, like
deep sleep.
Yeah, deep sleep. And my fiance, she goes pretty much straight to sleep, and maybe snoring. I don't know.
I can't do that. It takes me a while to get to sleep. But once I'm there, I'm good.
Yeah. I think she can be a bit like that, whereas me, I'm just like wide awake. But I think it's about between 8 and 50% of people experience it at some point in life, and about 5% of people have regular episodes. It also states that males and females are affected equally. But a lot of people feel it's a role for the creation of stories in alien abductions and any other like paranormal events.
Exactly where my mind went when you talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. People have these stories about, they came to Earth and they took me, because some people even have out of body experiences where they're looking down on themselves, which again's quite scary to think. But yeah, it
depends on whether it is. Well, either way, if you think it is at the time, it's scary. Yeah,
100%.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. It's just it's something that's been going on for years. There's
sense. The human mind is fucking super powerful, and you can't control it like most of the time. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, we don't have control over our dreams, do we? Or when you lucid dream and have really vivid dreams.
I'm kind of a lucid dreamer.
Are you?
I can realize during a dream that I am asleep, because there's certain things I can always do in a dream, and when I do that, I realize, honestly, like. If you remember the Batman games, the Arkham ones, when you double tap and then you shoot forward to do the grappling hook.
Yeah.
I can do that in my dreams.
Really?
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, man, I'd love to be able to do that, because the amount of times I get killed in my dreams or something stupid like that, I feel like I should be able to fight back.
It doesn't always last or anything, but
no.
Little moments, and then it goes on to something else, and you're like,
I like how you got the grappling hook in your dream. That's pretty cool.
It's more like a Spider-Man, but it's that motion.
Yeah. Got you. I know it. But yeah, no, that's right. But yeah, it's a step in our sleep pattern. I think it was like number 5, like the REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement, which is REM sleep, and it's like stage 5. And basically, it puts us in this state where we're stiff, so we don't hurt ourselves, essentially. So, but if we wake up from this state, that's where the sleep paralysis kicks in. So, and they say, don't be scared of it, but how can you not be scared of something when you're literally paralyzed and all you can see is a figure in the corner just looking at you? I watched Sorry, what did you say?
No, it just seems like 2 completely separate things. That does to me, anyway. Like I understand the concept of like a doctor saying it's gonna, because I'm guessing it's something to pass it. It's like your body needs to catch up to your brain. Something like that, I'm guessing. Yeah.
That's it.
So you'll get over it eventually. I understand saying chill, but if there's a fucking figure in the corner, then that's a whole different thing. So
absolutely, like how can you not be scared of that?
Yeah.
You know, I spoke to a few people about it, and they've said they had the same sort of things where there's been figures, but it turns out like it's a jacket in the corner, or you know, like a dressing gown or something like that.
That's something you've had.
No, no, not me personally. It's normally like that the figures disappear, or I've come out of a dream state, but I could still hear people screaming at me or something in my dream, or footsteps or people breaking in, that kind of thing.
Little remnants until you click out of it.
Yeah, that's it.
I remember waking up and a rock fell on my hand, and I woke up, and then my hand was numb until I moved it for a second when I was young.
Yeah, it's stuff like this, you know.
That might just be my headline to me, though.
You never know, but yeah, it's you know, it can be quite frightening. I've spoke to people recently about it and just got a couple of stories, and they're very similar to mine. I watched a couple of documentaries myself on it, and there's one called The Nightmare, and the other one is called The Hat Man. With The Nightmare, it does go in depth about you know, what it's about, what kind of things people have seen in the past. So there's a couple of figures that people see, like, and this is where I found out about the witch that I mentioned to you. Like, some people see a witch and you see it on your chest. It could be like a little demon. And when I say demon, there's I don't know if you can look right now, but there's a picture by Henry Fuseli, Fuseli, painted in 1781, and it's
Fuseli. Oh, Fuseli.
Yeah, Eli. Sorry, and it's literally called The Nightmare, and it's like the picture is of someone asleep, and it's like a little demon on this lady's chest. So they think it's a you know, a vision of sleep paralysis. So it looks like it may have dated back then.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
that's what you want about. She's like kind of sprawled out, her arms everywhere.
That's the one.
Demon on it. There's a horse in the background too.
Yeah, I don't know what the horse is about. Maybe it's another vision that people used to see horses. I've never seen a horse, I will say.
I suppose maybe back then I can imagine it more, because a horse would be something you'd see everywhere back then.
Yeah,
and you're not going to see a car nowadays. So
no, that's true. There's a bright light heading towards you, like coming to murder you.
Like Lightning McQueen sticking his head through the window.
Hey guys, yeah, you know, it's quite. There's quite a few things. Like a few documentaries, sorry, that I've watched now. And as I say, that witch was in there. There was a demon. There was a dark figure with red eyes glowing. There's the Hat Man is the other documentary. It does cover it in the Nightmare documentary, but the Hat Man documentary on its own covers mainly just on this individual from sleep paralysis. It literally scared my fiance. She was so creeped out by it, and because they used music and a couple of actors in it, it made it feel quite real. And she was like, "You suffer with that?" I was like, "Yes, it's horrible, but you'll love this."
So was it actually pretty accurate then, what you saw in regards to how it feels to you then?
Yeah, definitely. And it made so much more sense, and didn't feel alone about it as well.
Yeah, of course.
That was
one
the
good thing about the internet.
Exactly, it's a good thing about it. Definitely.
Unless it's a bunch of people that feel like they shouldn't walk around fucking pigs, and all of a sudden they get online and they're like, "Oh, there's a community of pig fuckers." I'm not weird.
I don't think I've ever tried that, so I'm kind of glad. But
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So you'll love this one, because there's a guy that has an interview about his sleep paralysis, and he literally states it's like the Undertaker being in his room because of the Hat Man. So all he sees is a dark figure with a hat on. Imagine that, just like the dongs going dong, and Undertaker's just like coming towards you to like choke slam you into hell.
Anyone that doesn't know what wrestling is, and you saying, imagine the dongs coming towards you, choking you to hell.
I can see where that gets a bit confusing, but just out of context, the dong is the Undertaker theme music. But yeah,
a lot of debate though whether it is. But carry on.
But it's you know, that one stuck out for me, and it made me laugh quite a bit, being a wrestling fan. It's the Undertaker that comes to see me, he says. It's really funny. But yeah, the Hat Man. So it's there isn't actually a cure for it either. I mean, they say, getting enough sleep, having a good sleep pattern for it, and the long term for it is to have, sleeping pills, sleep remedies for it.
It's only going to put you in a deeper sleep if you wake up.
Well, that's it though. That's what I thought. But I think it's because if you have like a regular sleep and you can go to sleep and have more of a natural sleep, they're saying it can help. But so do's and don'ts is
lost you a bit then.
Oh, so like this.
Not dying.
So a couple of do's and don'ts is this is what I got from the NHS.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, so it says.
Adam, before you say that, sorry, just quickly run me through exactly what you experienced generally then.
So, for instance, I had it the other night actually. I was, I come out of my dream state. I think I was in a dream originally where people were trying to break into my house. It wasn't in my own house. It was a fictional house. And they were screaming at me. To let them in, and they're going to murder me or whatever. So I'm coming out of this dream. I go into sleep paralysis. I can't move, and all I can see is people just like waving their hands at like in the corner, and like I can hear things like them shouting. And then I'm trying to move. I know this is the thing. I know I'm in that state of sleep paralysis. And I'm trying to move, and sometimes you just can't do anything about it. You literally just have to.
Yeah, and you're groggy. You just woke up, like you're never with it. To be honest, I was a bit confused about the connection between like seeing the figures in the corner of the room.
Yeah,
when you were saying it, but I didn't. Yeah, I miss simple things a lot, and I realise what you mean now. You're on about how when you wake up, that dream kind of goes with you.
Exactly.
And until your body realises it's still kind of there, phasing in and out.
That's it. But sometimes you might not even be dreaming about a witch, for instance, on your chest, and you'll just come out of that state, and it will just happen.
Well, you just don't know you are, or like because you don't remember most of your dreams. Your dreams are really short, and if it's normal for you to snap up and think of that, then it happens. Like it just made me think of my mom, for example. Whenever I'm in the front room, my mom or something, because she falls asleep. Like if I'm not going to mine, she'll fall asleep, and then. Like I'll move and do something, and then she'll wake up and she'll be like, "Oh," I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm just going to bed now." She's like, "Oh, okay. Can you just check my drawer, see if I haven't took my tablets?" And then I get there, and she has every time. It's just her mind goes to it when she wakes up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but it's so that's the next like one experience. Another one is like I mentioned the witch as well. Like when I was a kid. Another one is where it is the Hat Man, or the Undertaker.
Yeah,
and he's just standing there in the corner. It's just like a dark figure. You can't really see too much. There's no music. He doesn't try. He doesn't try. No dongs. He doesn't try and choke slam me. He doesn't try and tombstone me. He's just standing there. But once you're out of it,
Kane at a podium in the background.
Yeah, Kane just appears like and says, "I'm coming to help you."
It's kind of weird though that you keep hearing the same things with everyone, like a Hat Man. Was this after you'd already heard about the Hat Man that you'd experienced?
So it was before I heard about it, and then when you you read stuff and you think, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about a lot of it. So, but that's just my experiences with it. But it's. I can't.
Interesting as how that is.
I can't say it's not scary because it is. Like, but at the same time, I know when I come out of that state, I'm safe. It was just, that state of mind. But what you mentioned there about people having the same experiences, it is weird. Like, why do we see the same things? And then I mean that gets onto other things. I'll come back to it.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I was going to say is. They say try to get to 6 to 8 hours of sleep daily. Go to bed roughly the same time each night and get up at the same time each morning. Who does that? I do not do that. Get regular exercise, but not in the 4 hours before going.
Sorry, dude.
That's all right.
Yeah. So, list of things you should do. Yeah, I don't do what you said so far.
No, I do not either, to be honest, Carl. And don't. So I bet you do these. So it says, do not eat.
This is don't.
This is don't.
Okay.
So do not eat a big meal, smoke or drink alcohol or caffeine shortly before going to bed. I do all those.
Yeah.
Not smoke, but maybe a big meal. And maybe caffeine. Oh, here it is. My favourite one. Don't sleep on your back. This can make sleep paralysis more likely to happen.
That's just They're just saying that because a lot of people report it on their back, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, literally, I've never had it on my side. So it makes sense for them to say, don't sleep on your back. I know it's hard, but just don't do it.
Or maybe the real thing should be partners. If you notice your guy sleeping on his back or girl sleeping on their back, push them to the side.
Push them over. But yeah, that's the thing.
Suffocating the pillow.
It is tough to I've tried to wake my fiance up before, try to move towards her and let her know I'm stuck. I can't move, and you just can't do it. I think it's shown a lot actually in House on Haunted Hill on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that show. Pretty creepy.
I think I've watched part of it. It's it's like an actual program, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
About a haunted house with a family, and one of the characters in that, she suffers with it as well, and she sees things. I won't go into it just in case spoiler. There is a spoiler in there, so I won't.
Is it ongoing? Is it at the moment? That program?
Well, it's the first season's gone. I think there's a new series coming soon, so just in case.
Tell me what you were going to say. Anyone that's listening that doesn't want it spoiled, it's going to be spoiled in a second. There you go.
Skip ahead. Yeah.
Skip ahead.
So basically, so she's suffering from sleep paralysis, and the figure that she sees is actually her future self, but she's dead, and she actually gets hung eventually, and it's her with a broken neck from the hanging. So yeah.
Lovely.
That's terrifying. But yeah, what was I going to say to you? Just about people witnessing the same thing, and I think it takes us back to things like paranormal and.
It's hard not to, yeah.
I mean, I don't think it is personally, but there's a lot of people who say it's ghosts, demons.
It's hard, isn't it? Because. Yeah. First of all, you then I love that kind of stuff, but only because I have my own opinions on it, and it's as soon as you start talking about it, it sounds like you're agreeing with everything they say. But it's no, it's just you got to depend on first of all what the definition of a ghost is.
That's it. But we don't know what why we see the same things as each other. I mean, there's not many people. I did try and speak to people about it, as I say. I didn't get much of a reaction. It was more like I just sounded completely crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's not people that have already had it anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, none of my family members have suffered from it that I know of. A couple of people said they saw figures, but nothing like what I was stating.
Yeah.
Or saw in the documentary. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just going crazy. I don't know.
It's one of them you can see it from different sides. Say if it's something your brain is creating, while you're asleep in that moment, then you can understand why you yourself would have it worse than family members that are older or something, because we get a lot more. We see a lot more stuff with TV and that now, and the stuff that's on.
Definitely.
So there could be something there, but at the same time, when you say all these people will see the same things and like yourself, then it's okay,
Exactly.
And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know what, I always kind of lean on that side. That's the kind of side I always go to.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it doesn't mean I believe that,
Yeah, but, there's a lot of evidence in places, but, I'm not saying it's, demons or ghosts. I know, it's subconscious states of mind, but it is just weird that people see the same figures and shapes and
more so you probably want to tell yourself that it's subconscious and not anything else.
Man, I'm home and I'm alone, so don't get say that now.
Well, man, I mean, if it's the other thing, it could be that I'll say it's essentially like a superpower. Because
yeah, definitely, I'd love to have something like that.
Because I look at ghosts and I don't really think ghosts are what a lot of people think they are, like dead people. I don't think it's that. Doesn't really make much sense. So if anything, I think it's like kind of warping into like either like different dimensions or like we know there's like or like alternate realities, but more likely different dimensions, because that fits into what a lot of people say about aliens, and
that's true.
we know these dimensions are there, and it's like that could be ghosts at the same time. Especially if you look at the Skinwalker Ranch stuff, then it makes kind of sense too.
Definitely.
But there's that there too, and you might be like, kind of just bleeding through for a second. Sometimes you're making it in your head. Sometimes you're seeing stuff. Who knows, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what people say, that they are beings from other dimensions as well. And I think that's where the aliens thing comes into play, if I remember rightly, from what I was reading and saw on those documentaries. So, but yeah, man, I mean, this story is quite short for you this week, but.
No, it's interesting. Like, it makes you think of a lot of things. I mean, like, because the whole idea, I think of like what I've heard about aliens, like if it's what they were saying it was like different dimensions, and they'd be like walking between us and that all the time.
Well, yeah,
that's freaky.
That's what they get on quite a lot in that in one of those documentaries and what I've read before. But YouTube is full of stories. A bit more medical information's available out there for people who suffer from it. It's not something I've really gone into and thought, I might need medical attention for it, because I don't get it all the time. But occasionally.
How often do you reckon you get it then?
So I had my last episode like 2 nights ago, but that I didn't see anything. I think that one, I think I just heard stuff.
Yeah.
And then before that was a couple of months ago, if I remember rightly.
Do you wear contacts or glasses or anything?
No, I do wear I do wear glasses. I should wear glasses for reading and watching TV, all that sort of thing. But no, how come?
I was just thinking, I can't decide if it's scarier or would be less scary if you could see something and it's blurry.
Yeah, just not having full vision and just seeing some.
Yeah.
Bugger off, ghost. Piss off, ghost.
Oh, man, it's really fucking interesting. I didn't know you suffered from that as well. That's a fucking. Oh yeah, I can imagine that's a ball out. But at least knowing what it is in your body at least helps.
It does help, man, definitely. And I think that's the same for anybody that suffers from it. Not alone. It happens, and just I just think it is hard to remember that it's just visions and it's just a dream, but at the end of the day it is, and you just gotta be strong with it. That's all I will say about
that. Hopefully that's all it is.
You never know.
But I think even if you open it outside as well, it's not even something to be scared of at the same time.
Oh,
if it is that, then that's a great thing to be able to do. I'd love to be able to do that if it was that,
Yeah, well, you never know.
Same way. You watch Umbrella Academy?
Funny enough, man, I'm actually watching that at the moment. How come? Yeah.
I just thought about it and I just thought I'd ask you, to be honest.
Yeah, I do. I'm watching it at the moment. I think it's better than the first season, if I'm honest. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm up to this episode 8, I think. So got to catch up on those and get that down. 10. Yeah, we've flown through it, man. We've been watching Twin Peaks, and then we watched.
That was what you told me to watch.
That's it. And then we watched Innocence Files, and then we watched. Started watching Umbrella Academy. Maybe this is why I suffer from stuff like this. Too many dark things, man. I don't know. I
think it's hard not to nowadays. Umbrella Academy is not dark anyway. It's pretty light humoured, really.
It's light humoured with murder.
Yeah, but it's when you look at it, it's like just portrayed in a not a gritty way, quite a light-hearted.
It's comic book though, isn't it? Yeah, that's it, because it is. So
that doesn't mean anything nowadays. Right. Yeah, anything you need to plug away, man?
No, not in particular at this point in time. Just thanks for having me back and not firing me. I suppose that's. This is together now, my man. I can't fire you. Cool, man. Thank you very much for that, then. All right, no problem. Well, I'll catch you soon, and thanks for letting me know if there's something else I can actually go and watch. That'll
highly recommend.
So thank you.
Cool.
All right, dude. You take it easy.
Take care, man. Speak to you probably tomorrow or something.
All right, man. See you soon.
Go.
Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with
KD and Kersey.